No door on that side. We gotta go out the door on this side. It's just about 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun's been up for, I don't know, 45 minutes. The high clouds are increasing, and we have warm air advection. Not exactly that warm, but at midnight here it was 27 degrees, and now it's 37 degrees. With the wind increasing from the south, even most of Mount Washington is marginal for snow. This is not the, what are you doing, Rex? This is not the kind of setup you want to see ahead of a potential mountain snowstorm. The temperature out there last night was colder on Cape Cod than it was in Vermont. And this morning at 6 a.m., here's the temperature map. It's in the 20s in eastern Maine. That's that old cold high trying to hang on, but it's being replaced by low pressure and a warm front to the west. And in western New York, it's in the low 50s this morning. I haven't looked at all the guidance, but the guidance I did see, the NAM in the middle of the night, showed a much weaker storm. I mean, it's still powerful, 988 millibars, but that's not 977 by any means, and it's farther west and north. So the initial thinking that would have me believe now that means less of everything. Less coastal flooding, I guess that's the best news. Less wind, less rain, and also less snow. I heard some numbers yesterday. People are hearing something like, someone said 20 to 40 inches of snow. I said, maybe the 20 part. So I think that the guidance is backing off a little bit this morning, but I'm not sure, and I'm going to go skiing real quick. And so this is just an initial thought, and we'll do a look at the 12Z run and come back with a complete out the door with weather and more after a few ski runs this morning. So we're still in a winter storm watch, and we're still going to get snow, but probably not as much as some of those higher forecasts. All right, talk to you again soon. Whenever I put my shoes on, Rex gets all excited because he thinks we're going out. And we're going out, but not the door you want to go out, Rex. Going out this door. Can't really go for a walk out here, but we can do the weather. We already went for our walk. We'll go for another walk a little bit later. I don't know what it was doing, but the camera was stopped responding to me. Anyhow, I went up, did about 5 runs, which is 10,000 feet. You can do that by 9 o'clock here. Anyhow, came home and I've been looking at the weather maps, and I guess there's good news and not so good news, depending on what you desire out of Mother Nature. The good news is it no longer looks like Bombogenesis. Yesterday, the guidance had this low pressure system deepening to 977 millibars on the coast of Maine tomorrow. Now it's got it deepening to 988 millibars. That's an exponentially weaker storm. That's good news in the coastal flood department. Also, the speed of the incoming storm has been changed. It has changed, and now looks like it's coming in a little quicker. So what should we do first? Why don't we talk about the current state of the dynamics? There's a 999 low moving into Ontario right now, and it is pulling a plume of warmth with its counterclockwise circulation. The air in western New York is in the low 50s, and it's still cold. It's colder right now on Cape Cod than it is actually here in northern Vermont. So you have that one storm going into Ontario that wants to pull a bunch of warm air in here. And then you're going to have the new storm forming off to the south. It's going to try and pull the colder air back down, but it's going to have a really tough time because that new storm is not strong enough or dynamic enough to have enough cold. So we're going to have a mixture of snow and rain coming in here. Now let's look at Charleston, South Carolina this morning. Kind of a disaster. It's supposed to be the Food and Wine Festival, and instead it's just blowing. The ocean came in, the rain was heavy. There's a tornado watch in effect just south of Charleston this morning in Florida and Georgia, South Carolina. And that low pressure system is going to ultimately take over. Right now, that's 1,006 millibar, well, several of them, disjointed low pressure centers. Those are going to all unite and deepen and move to the north and east. Should we start with looking at it from a wind perspective? And the wind department, air is coming in from the southeast. Here's the low now coming in tonight after the sun goes down. The red is the wind sustained at 30 to 40 knots, and it now looks like the heaviest wind is going to stay just offshore and get just north of Portland, Maine by high tide tomorrow at noontime. And with the barometer going down to 988 instead of 978, that really reduces the coastal flood threat. There is still going to be moderate coastal flooding, but it could have been much worse if that low was at 977, which is 28.88 inches, instead of 988, which is 29.18 inches. If you're following along on your barometer at home, what is wind? It's air moving from high to low pressure, and that's a very low pressure system, but not as bad as it looked from yesterday. All right, so now you want to go to the timing on the precipitation. There's that first low going into Ontario with the warm air and the rain and the snow well to the north and west. And then about 8 o'clock, or 7 or 8 o'clock, 0Z is 7 o'clock today, but when we turn the clocks, 0Z is going to be 8 o'clock tomorrow. So we're going to do a lot of time. Anyhow, there's blue as snow, green as rain, and you can see it's mixed. Elevation snow and lower elevation rain coming into western New England this evening. And I'm going to try and go really slowly here, so hopefully I can remember the play-by-play. The low that's moving from Ontario into Quebec is weakening. The new low is taking over and coming into New York City. Green is rain, heavy rain. For southern New England, only lasts about 8 hours tonight. Rain snow line is mixed over Vermont, and it's solid. Sugarloaf looks like mostly snow for this entire event. It's going to be tapping the old cold and the new cold in Sugarloaf. But you can see in western New England, it kind of shuts off there tomorrow morning. And good news is there's a lull in the wind right over Maine and extending into Vermont tomorrow afternoon. Fog and drizzle, waiting on the cold air to come back in. And here comes the new cold air tomorrow evening as the sun goes down. 0Z tomorrow is 8 p.m. We're going to have a later sunset. And there's the backlash snow. You can see it in Vermont, New York. Backlash snow tries to go right down into Boston on Monday morning. It's cold and it's windy. How much snow? How much snow on the front side? How much snow on the back side? Well, the quantitative precipitation forecast has come down rather significantly, I think due to a weaker low, and it's a faster moving low, and it may not stall as much on the coast of Maine. So as for snow, liquid equivalent, or just rain, it looks like now a 1 to 1.5 inch event. So even if it were all snow, that would be 10 to 15 inches. So I think that the mountains of New Hampshire, northern New Hampshire, the White Mountains over into Maine are getting that 10 to 15 inches of synoptic scale snow. And here in the Vermont area, we're probably going to get about 5 inches of the wet, heavy snow tonight. It's really going to snow hard, but it's going to be marginally cold. So that's going to be great base material. And then the backlash snow kicks in, and the snow probably shuts off in parts of New Hampshire and Maine, so it's mostly a front-end load there. And then we're famous for it here in New York and Vermont and maybe parts of northern New Hampshire. Going to get that backlash snow tomorrow night, and that could add up to another sort of, I guess, maybe 6 inches at lower elevations below 2,500 feet, up to maybe 10 to 12 inches on top of the 5 at the higher elevations. So that would put the tops of these summits in the order of maybe 15 to 20. I think there was some irrational exuberance in some of the forecasts I've been hearing about the possibility of 20 to 40 inches of snow. I guess it's not out of the question. It just doesn't look like we have that kind of duration, and it's not really Arctic cold coming in here to wring it out, but I think there are going to be many double digits as for what we're going to get here. You see those bare spots right there, and that's under the lookout chair. Those will be all filled in, so you don't see too many bare spots around here. But up at the top of the mountain there, the hourglass, the focus is happening. At the hourglass up there, we're going to fill that back in with probably a couple of feet of snow. I don't know if anyone's going to do any hiking around here Monday and Tuesday, but it is going to be a completely different world. Everything is going to be plastered white here, and I would go with probably about 15 inches up around the cliff house there, and there's the kitchen wall, and probably nosedive glades will be doable. I just stepped foot in there this morning and it was treacherous, but there's still a couple of feet of snow in those glades over there. So I'd say this is applies to the spine of the Green Mountains from about maybe Killington north to Jay Peak, probably coming in with 15 to 20 inches of snow at the highest elevation. So that's an optimistic outlook, I think, or it's a reasonable outlook, actually. Kind of matches up with the NAM, not that 3K NAM high res. I'm not going to show that. That's kind of ridiculous, showing like 20 to 40 inches of snow. I just don't think we have it in us. But great base material. And the storm is winding down on Monday. It'll still be snowing up here, but for most people, Monday's just going to be windy and cold, and that high pressure system goes south of us. Now let's switch back to the Euro, going into the second half of the week. Warmer air comes in here Wednesday, Thursday, and so we are going to have a bit of a warm wave. Right now, we're in a cold wave right now. We're just kind of having a mild intrusion into the cold wave. All right, sorry, go back to that. And then there's another cold front on Thursday. Thursday looks like rain showers, maybe changing to snow showers up here Thursday into Friday. And now we're getting to March 16th, and that's a Saturday, and St. Patrick's Day Sunday. Look at that. The Euro's trying to produce a nor'easter with more snow for us in the higher elevations next Sunday. I thought we might see that evolving in the 10-day with the Euro, and I didn't even look at the GFS this morning, but I did see yesterday there was a major Arctic outbreak occurring here as we go to the equinox, which is March 19th. So we are getting sort of winter 4.0 coming in here. The first part ended dramatically on December 18th. We rebuilt, and then it kind of went away on Groundhog Day, and then we rebuilt, and it went away again. Now we're going to rebuild it one more time. I'm pretty optimistic that it's going to be a good day tomorrow. Andrew asked me, where should I ski tomorrow? Maybe won't have wind hold and a good amount of snow. I'd say probably Sugarloaf or maybe Cannon or Wildcat tomorrow. It's colder to the east and north on the front side of this system than it is on the west side. And then we get the cold and the snow coming in here on Sunday night and Monday. So I'm sticking around for that. Look at all the ants coming down Gondolier. One of the reasons I don't ski on weekends for the most part. I got out there this morning. I might go out for an hour again late in the day. Oh, actually, no, I got to go do a pickup, an airport run. A lot of people are flying into Burlington. A lot of people asking me, how's the flights? And I'm like, well, they got to fly over that storm. And if you get in here before sunset, you're looking good. The middle of the night tonight, though, is going to rage. I mean, it's going to be pouring rain and heavy, wet snow. I would not want to be traveling on any of our interstates, especially higher elevations, during the night. The worst of this storm, as far as rain and snow combined, that pasting snow, is going to be tonight through about sunrise tomorrow. So try and get where you need to be before then or after that. And then maybe we'll see you up here on Monday. We're going to be doing the play-by-play. Well, see you around this evening. Here comes the cloud right over the chin right this minute. So we're going to be probably snowing up there, maybe raining down below by sunset today. Talk to you again tomorrow. Where'd you go, T-Rex? Back to bed? Good thinking. All right, time to edit. I'm gonna edit in some of the skiing from this morning. It was pretty good. I've heard mixed reviews though. A lot of people said it was kind of too icy. I didn't think it was too icy. I think they did a great job grooming Hayride. Can't really see Hayride right up there. Hayride and Centerline were looking good. That's Hayride on the left. Centerline's just to the left a bit. So great job grooming you guys here at Mount Mansfield Stowe Mountain Resort. Talk to you. 7:54 a.m. We're in defrost mode again. Warm air advection ahead of a snowstorm. Never a good sign. A lot of moving parts have to come together. They just opened the gondola. A lot of moving parts have to come together to get us a foot of snow. We can do it. We can do it. Let's do it. All right, going skiing. 2 minutes to spare. Scott. Whitty, where are you? Come to Stowe. All right, you want me to come to Sugarbush? We'll do what we have to do. We got a new one coming in. It's going to be great skiing this week. Maybe I'll see you this week. So upper nosedive is really nice. It's soft. We packed powder, groomed. I think upper might be better than lower this morning. I'm not sure. Fading sunshine. So we're not getting any sun. Storm clouds have arrived.
Caroline, you gotta wait for this. Yeah, you can go to the right. Go towards the small feature. That's smart. All right, well, go. Let's give Caroline her space, right? Oh, you're good.
Green Mountain Academy. 9 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, March 8th. And a lot of people showing up. To play. in the snow, on the snow.